people? I'm Ninja, and I am one half of What's Going On podcast, and this is What's Going On Now. And what I want to talk about real quick is the culture. I just want to dabble in the topic of the culture, of hip-hop, of rap, of lyricists, of everything that comes with it, everything. And I want to kind of just break it down a little bit, just a little bit, because I feel like, hip-hop gets a bad rap that it comes with the game that a lot of other genres, well, I don't want to say because rock gets a bad rap sometimes. I mean, every genre has its thing. Rock has the devil worshipping, and hip hop has the drugs and violence, and country has horses. But you get what I'm saying. Every genre has its thing. But hip hop, because it's dear to my heart, and I follow and I love hip hop, and I've been into playing music since I was a kid. Hip hop has always been a big part of my life, all the way up to my adulthood now. I was born in the 80s, so I was in the Bronx when hip hop was really becoming something. So I get it, and I get it a little bit more than others. And I have debates online all the time with young kids, old people, hip hop, Drake fans. They're the worst. But I want to make this a positive thing. I don't want to like hate or sound like I'm hating on any one particular group of people or rappers. I just want to give you a perspective, my perspective at least, of hip hop and stuff. So when I hear, I'm gonna take, and I know this is probably getting old already, but let's just take the Drake and Kendrick beef for a moment. Everybody was like, Drake is on top, Drake is winning, Drake is winning, Drake is this, Drake's the greatest. But when Kendrick came out and he started, really grabbing Drake by the neck and really putting him down, people understood what was going on. And what I mean by that is people understood that Kendrick is hip hop. He is the culture. He is a lyricist. He is a rapper's rapper. And I'm not taking nothing away from Drake at all. Drake, I liked Drake at one point when he first came out. I think I like his first 3 albums. They were probably my favorite Drake joints. I didn't care for his newer stuff once he started singing more and kind of get more poppy, I stopped and whatever. But I did like Drake features, because I felt like when Drake was on a feature, he was, so for instance, if he was on a feature with Rick Ross, he was more street, which kind of makes sense because Drake is kind of like a chameleon in rap. Like, he can be pop, he can be R&B, he does all that, and I think that's great. It's a great talent. He's very well versed in doing multiple different things, which is great. But as for the hip hop culture and lyricism, I don't think he fits into that box. And this is where I think it was unfair for Drake, is because I think he was in hip hop and on top for so long. I think he got gassed into thinking he can out-rap Kendrick because he's a good artist. I don't think he's a great lyricist. So yes, he has bars, yes, he comes up with stuff, but when you have ghostwriters and people helping you, yeah, you can come up with the wittiest shit, but that doesn't make you a great lyricist. So let me give you a perfect example. When he went against Meek Mill is a lyricist / battle rapper, but Drake got the upper hand in that battle because he knew Nicki Minaj. He had a lot of things he can, and obviously Meek Mill wasn't the smartest battle rapper. He was a street battle rapper. That makes a difference, because to me there's a difference. You got battle rappers like in the streets making fun of each other's shoes and everything right there. That's a talent and a whole different genre in itself. Those guys are a different breed of rappers. But a lot of them can't coexist with certain artists because they're just that, battle rappers. They can't make songs. Like, some of them don't even pop out of that battle rap thing. They have to go do other things, which is fine. You're good in that thing and that's it. But Meek Mill was kind of there. Then he made hit music, and I think he had a lot of help doing that. Drake had the upper hand. Drake smoked him, and I gave Drake the props because that back-to-back shit was dope. But lyrically, I don't think he can outdo Kendrick because Kendrick is a lyricist. So another example of what I'm trying to say, just for all you youngins out there who don't understand, you might want to go back and dig in dig in the crates, do some homework. But there was a battle before Drake and Kendrick, and it was LL Cool J and Cannabis. Listen to me when I say this was probably one of the best battles because they were both lyricists. And this is what I'm trying to touch on and tell people. When you are battle rapping with lyricists on a level that they can compete lyrically with each other, you know what I'm saying? Cannabis and LL Cool J, that was the battle right there that set off two lyrical rappers battling. I'm not talking about like Ice Cube and No Vaseline and these diss songs. Those were great diss songs. Nothing taken away from Cube. Those guys that he was battling weren't lyrical. That he was just battling a whole group of dudes, and that was different. Cannabis and LL Cool J, bro, they had some of the best. Like I don't need. Everybody says LL won, and yes, I believe also he kind of won, but Cannabis did his thing. Second Round Knockout was probably my favorite diss record, bro. It was so good, production-wise, and even to the point where like Mike Tyson was ad-libbing with it. That's it, again, Tam. It was awesome. So what I'm trying to say is do your homework. Go listen to those tracks. Jack the Ripper, bro. You gotta listen to these songs, bro. Can I bust? These songs are amazing lyrically. Now, commercially, they weren't a super big deal, like how Kendrick and Drake was. Lyrically, those were street lyric records, like they were just going crazy on each other, and that was that. Now, let's fast forward to Nas and Jay-Z. And this is the other example I want to give you youngins real quick, or just anybody who doesn't understand what I'm trying to say. Nas and Jay-Z. I see Drake and Kendrick, almost like I see the Nas and Jay-Z battle. Almost parallel to each other. And what I mean by that is that when Jay-Z and Nas were going at it, everybody was like, Nas is gonna get it. Jay-Z's top notch. He has the money, he has the cars, the sales. That was everything Drake is and still is, whatever. But Jay-Z was the Drake in that situation. He did Take Super Ugly. He did all these songs that were going at Nas. And then when Nas made Ether, that shut it down, bro. That one song shut it down, dude. Everybody who was on Jay's side literally just, it was crazy. Like, it was the biggest New York moment ever. When Jay got ethered, bro, you couldn't tell nobody nothing. Nas lyrically bust him down. And people could say, oh, Ether's whack. It didn't. But the streets were talking and Nas won. That was it. Even the songs after that they did Sublims, whatever. But my example is that Jay-Z, everything that when Nas dropped Ether, everything that they're saying about Drake, he still sell more records. He still got more money. He still got more this. That was the same thing they said about Jay-Z. When Nas took his whole camp out, they still said the same thing about Jay-Z. That Jay-Z is the best still. It doesn't matter because he sells more records. He got more money. Now, this is history repeating itself. Kendrick smoked Drake, and everybody's like, Drake's still number one Spotify, still number one this, still number one that, blah, 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 blah. The only thing I give Jay-Z props is that he took his L on the chin. He went and he brags about his money, whatever. But he took the L on the chin. Drake, on the other hand, cannot take this L, bro. And he's starting to sue, tell on Spotify and UMG and blah, 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 blah. And he's doing all this extra shit that don't count. Like, we are not recognizing this. And this is what I'm trying to say. You cannot carry a culture, and then when the culture is testing your card, you backpedal and then go on streaming websites and say, yo, hip-hop's weird now. It's weird. Now hip-hop's weird after you've took your Culture Vulture money, and now it's weird, and now it's all this stuff. And this is what I'm trying to say. Like, lyricists versus the high money-making hip-hop artist doesn't equate, bro. It just doesn't. It doesn't. That's why I try to tell people when they have these rappers that are up here they're up here, leave them up there. That's cool. You want to be the biggest artist in the world, that's fine. But if you are not a lyrical rapper like the Jays, even though Jay-Z is I think he's lyrical, but he wasn't as lyrical as Nas. Let's just keep it real. But what I'm trying to say is that let's keep the lyrical rappers where they belong, in the culture. That's what it is. If Drake is in the culture, that's fine. But you can see just by his reactions, he doesn't understand the culture, bro. He was in it and blending in, but never got that real culture spoon-fed where he was digging in crates and, you know, doing his due diligence to understand how hip-hop actually gets busy. That's why I want to shout out like all the LL Cool J's, the Cannabis, the KRS Ones, all these guys, the Pusha T's, the Kendricks, the Lupe Fiascos. Like, these guys are lyricists. These guys, the Jada Kisses, the Styles P's, these guys are lyricists. These guys you don't want to mess with. You know what I'm saying? The Eminems, these guys, they know how to get busy. They'll write a rap song and diss your whole family and go back in their fucking caves. So with that being said, lyrical rappers versus money rappers, let's just keep the money rappers there. They get hyped up, and that's it. That's my point, is that if you disagree with me, fine. We can talk about it down in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, please. But if you feel like I'm wrong or I missed something, let me know, because there's so much hip-hop in my head, I can't really go over everything in less than a couple minutes. But that's my take on the beef with Kendrick and Drake. That's my take with beef on Nas and Jay-Z. It's almost like history is repeating itself. The only thing is, Drake is taking the sucker way out, man. He's taking the sucker way out. If Drake was that ill, everybody thinks he is, he would have got back at Pusha T, you know what I'm saying? And that was a bridge he didn't want to cross, but he thought he can mess with Kenny, and he got confooled up. But alright, well, I'm gonna roll out. That's my take. Thank you for watching. Check me out on What's Going On podcast. That'll be back on the first of the year with new topics, new discussions. We'll be back with 4 episodes, an hour long. We're just taking a break, doing these shorts just to keep the YouTube algorithm rolling. And man, I'll see you in the next one. Later.